About 5,500 pounds, pretty much on the nose as you see it here. This is a Rockwood 235S here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It's a newer member at the time of this filming of Rockwood's lineup in the history and scheme of things, but it very quickly became their second most popular and screaming up the ranks, and I think for good reason. This is about the only hybrid I've ever seen with a real, true, very effective, good outside kitchen and excellent direct-facing entertainment right in the living area that actually happens to hide some pretty decent hanging storage. Now, you can build this a number of different ways. There's different interiors, different exteriors. I've actually already done a 2020 video of this with a brown skin decor, but we had one of these sharp-looking white ones show up. I thought, you know what? Why not let people get to see that too? Although it's a little more common in hybrid campers, having excellent travel accessibility like this, it's still something that I like to point out whenever I see it. Frankly, even if something has poor travel accessibility, I tend to display it so that you folks at home can make a better, more educated purchase decision. So if you need to, you can slip through, you can get to the fridge, to most of the storage. I say most because there is, you know, some cabinet space here that you'll lose out on. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot that you can't do in this one with the slide out closed. Something I will no doubt mention a number of times as we go through here is the fact that there are a myriad of ways in which you can build and equip and decorate your Rockwoods. They give you different options for different seating, different flooring, different wood tones, all kinds of different things. So always remember, how we're looking at it today might not be how it's equipped. We have found this to be one of our more popular arrangements, however, with the you know, fold down dinette with storage below, free floating table. It obviously becomes a sleeper, as well as that adult sized hide-a-bed upgrade right there. Because the thing is, I don't know that this RV needs more sleeping space, but it is really nice to have a more comfortable seat in that direct facing entertainment center. And a great direct-facing entertainment center is really one of the major focal points, I think, of this RV. This is something where you tow small, but you camp large. You know, they've really done it, well, like most things Rockwood does, they do an amazing job at just about everything. Like, how about the lighting package in here? You know, it's broad daylight outside, but you can still get an idea of the fact that this lighting package is a very aggressive one. Typically, Rockwood has more lights per square foot within their class and category than just about anybody else head-to-head. Other neat thing up here while we're looking up top, this is a vaulted roof to give us a little bit bigger feeling interior, helps it breathe a little bit. Also, it just has a jazzy sort of feel to it, you know. Additionally, look at the air conditioner. Notice how it's got double AC ducting, so that this thing always has really, really good airflow. Now, another cool thing, they spent a little bit more money to give you vents that can both turn and be closed. That's a cool little extra thing. A lot of brands do that, but it seems to be a lot of nicer brands do that. Again, hide-a-bed is an optional piece of equipment we put in here, but, you know, good slide side windows, those will always be present in Rockwoods. We'll come back to the entertainment in just a minute. So we have front and rear 60 by 80 residential queen size mattresses. They are heated, by the way. They both come with those bunk light fans that you see hanging up there. They also both come with these handy little, I don't know, bonus cargo sort of nets up here. I jokingly refer to as a baby hammock, but oh my God, please don't put a baby up there. Additionally, you notice how they have the cool little hang down pocket. Perfect spot to have a phone or something like that, you know, little personal objects hanging up there. Now, during the day, if you are really trying to maximize seating space, entertainment space, you can flip those up out of the way. You've got a full 8-foot wide padded bench here. Notice how next to your bed ends, you're always going to have power outlets. And there is storage below these bed ends as well. I'll mention that a couple times, but now you got just an idea to be able to see those. So the entertainment center here, obviously directly across from the you know, sofa area. And the cool thing is, it has a neat little hidden secret to it on top of just the fact that it's just a very generously large screen in a small space directly across from the entertainment center. The TV itself swings out to reveal what our viewers like to refer to as the wardrobe-tainment center. Because you look at most hybrids and you go, yeah, it's all neat and all, but there's no closets. Where do I hang my stuff? Well, how about this? How about this? I did some measuring. This is twice as wide as the combination of two conventional hanging closets on both sides of a north-south walk-around queen bed. So they have not just given you some hanging storage, they've doubled what you get in a conventional private bedroom travel trailer. Not too shabby. It's no wonder that this thing quickly became one of the most popular roofs. Or, frankly, you could load this up with little storage organizers or something in here. It's a huge chunk of storage. So, Bluetooth soundbar right there by Furon. Now over here we've got our IRV Bluetooth DVD stereo with face-mounted HDMI and USB plugs, meaning very streaming media friendly if you want to get like a Chromecast or Roku stick or whatever, Amazon Fire. And speaking of that, this RV also has the Wi-Fi Ranger, which is effectively a cutesy little name for a built-in router, signal access point, and relay that is specially designed for the RV industry to make it easier to hook up to mobile data sources. And, you know, it saves you a lot of time and hassle long term. That's a whole separate thing in and of itself, a whole separate video, really. Electric space heating, fireplace blow. How about that for a hybrid camper? How awesome is this thing right here, having a 5120 BTU electric space heater built right into your RV? Now, speaking of nice and big, you've got a nicely updated, bigger refrigerator right here. You like that segue? That was pretty good, wasn't it? Now we are walking around with an 8 cubic foot fridge freezer in here instead of the previous generation's 6 cubic foot fridge freezer. So more cold storage, plus remember we have an outside fridge as well, and it's a bigger one. This RV in total has just shy of 12 cubic foot of total cold storage. Not too bad. Now before we spin around and look at the rest of the storage in the kitchen, I want to point out the Max Air vent fan here. You will find one of these in the bathroom of every Rockwood, but we're not in the bathroom. At least I hope you don't use the bathroom in here. We are in the living area. Well, not only do you get the bigger vent fans in the living area of the Rockwood roos, but if you see those fins shining through that cover up there, you get the exact same Max Air vent cover on top of those power vents here as you would on the bathroom vent as well. So you can see that, you know, floor to ceiling pantry beside the refrigerator. Actually, this door is in the way a little bit, but literal floor to ceiling pantry next to this thing, in addition to all the other storage that we're about to see. That's pretty awesome. We have optioned on the raised panel refrigerator door fronts. We think it looks very good with the maple wood tones that have hardwood raised panel cabinet doors, which is what we're looking at here. And you notice how we have cabinet ducted heating, not floor vented heating, because this is a type of camper where people tend to go off-grid quite a bit, and they wanted to make sure that it was like sandy foot friendly. Now, drawers below the oven, drawers below the sink, anything and everything they could, they opened up. And that's a larger 22-inch oven, by the way. Not one of those little, you know, 15, 16-inch ovens that are good for maybe some pizza rolls. I know some folks can get some biscuits out of those, but you can actually do some decent baking here. If you are a campsite chef, Rockwood's bigger ovens are something that you should mark on your list as important factors. Now, hybrids aren't really known for having excellent prep space, but between the flush mount stovetop and the recessed sink cover right here that's also counter flush, you have a decent amount of prep space. And if we peek ourselves down below, you can see that we've got a bigger wraparound sink. So you've got every little nook and cranny they possibly could opened up in here. So let me stand back just a second. Let me wave a magic wand and close everything here up so that you get to see you know, what it looks like in just sort of the general daytime position, as opposed to all blown up and storage-wise like you see currently. Because this is another one of those really nice Rockwood things. Just aesthetically, they're gorgeous. You know, they have a really good interior, well, frankly, and exterior design team there. And again, the raised panel refrigerator door fronts we've optioned onto this one, they really marry up nicely with the maple wood tones. Now, sometimes what we'll do is we'll have the slate wood, the other wood option from Rockwood, with a stainless insert here. Remember, again, this video isn't guaranteed exactly to look like what we have in stock. It's an example of a Rockwood that we've had, not necessarily the Rockwood. If you want to see the Rockwood we have, visit our website. You know, we make sure that the pictures on our site match the RV in stock, whereas this video is here for educational purposes. So I know I just said I'm going to close everything to show you what it looks like closed up, but We've already seen this all closed up. I thought, hey, why not open all this up? And I like what they kind of do with their dinette here. So on this side, you notice you've got one with the door, one with the drawer. The drawer makes it easy to get to little stuff under the dinette, whereas the door actually passes through to outside, and we'll see that. But if you look really closely, you see that aluminum skeleton inside there? Well, anything that Rockwood builds themselves has a welded aluminum cage skeleton, which is just kind of an overkill thing for a dinette, but it is pretty cool. And if you ever wanted to see what a free-floating elliptical base table looks like flipped up out of the way, well, congratulations, your lifelong dream has come true. A strange dream, perhaps, but to each their own, and I, encourage you to pursue your dreams. But the fact is, this table's obviously free-floating. So another cool thing you can do is fold it down like a coffee table and use it in front of the sofa that we already saw. Or you could take it outside for picnic time. Or you could sleep on it. Or you could eat at it. Or you could not use it. I mean, it's up to you, really. Down here, not too far from the entry door, we have a cool little shoe garage. And this space is either an additional pantry, or you notice the little, I call them silly octopus hangers, because if you kind of look at it, it sort of looks like a drunk octopus. But these are removable shelves. So if you do want to convert this into extra hanging storage, you can do that too. And once again, Rockwood has found a way to do two things with one thing here in the 235 Rue at Haylett RV. Additionally, we've got easy access to the bathroom. We haven't talked about that, but it's right next to the entry door. So, being able to hop in, hop out, hit the bathroom, easy. No big deal on this one. While we're in here, we mentioned earlier the Max Air vent fans. Those are standard in the bathroom of every Rockwood produced today and for the last several years. And things like this having actual dedicated storage right in a bathroom area. That's one of those Rockwood doing Rockwood things where they really do a better job than a lot of brands at things like that. They were one of the first to adopt, the bigger radius showers here. And what's kind of cool, the vaulted ceiling, plus you see that like 45-degree angle mounted skylight above. Well, Rockwood can do that because they have a laminated roof. So they can mount their skylights anywhere they want to make sure that their RV is tall person friendly, even with a like 2.5-inch roof versus a more common 4-inch roof. You just can't laminate on that. And if I can peek the camera over the top here, you'll also see a handy little like shower caddy right there. Well, things like your little soaps, body washes, personal things, razors, perhaps. The shelves in these showers, they're worthless, but so Rockwood gives you a spot to put those. Notice that little corner shelf above that extra large sink right there. It's genius. It's the smallest thing. It's just a simple piece of resin plastic, but it is absolutely awesome because it gives you a place to keep things like your toothbrushes and whatnot up off of your very limited counter space, because it's more limited because they gave you a bigger sink, And by the way, right down below, you will notice how you do have GFI protected outlets. Now, from there, just to kind of finish the tour, again, storage below the bench areas of both of the beds. We do have the queen beds heated on both sides. And this is a neat thing. They treat the front and rear beds the same. Now here's a little neat piece of trivia. I'll give you a couple seconds. How much do you think these bed ends are rated for? How much weight can you put on them before they're overloaded? And the answer surprises a lot of people. Because you look at it and you go, well, it's just this piece of cable right here. I don't know. Thing is, that's like aircraft grade cable. And these bed ends are rated for 1,050 pounds. They are overbuilt with the expectation that your kids are going to be all, next time you're camping and they're jazzed up on s'mores and God knows what else. Well, if they're bouncing around in here, you want to make sure that they're not overloading, overworking anything. So that's how these are built. Now, that is surprisingly common. Like every single Jayco hybrid bed carries the exact same rating, but it's not an accident, I think, that a lot of people compare Jayco and Rockwood in a lot of ways. They're a pair of those more upper echelon brands, but in hybrid campers, no one comes close to what Rockwood does. Once again, remember, there are different interior and exterior skin packages. There's the more traditional brown with brown accents. There's the more modern white and gray that we're looking at. We tend to build our Rockwoods a couple different ways here at Haylett RV. We don't tend to build them only one way, and the fact is, no matter how we build them, someone will say it's wrong, and we'll get one built to your liking and your preferences. We'll come back to that stable step system in the back, but in the middle here, we have just an amazing outdoor kitchen and entertainment system, and I really want to zero in on this in depth. So, In a lot of Rockwoods, the TV in the living room can dismount and mount outside. On one like this where the TV's on a swing-out bracket, it's a little less friendly that way, but it is still set for a second outside TV. An outside grill with a little side mount, serving station can hook onto that little horizontal bracket right there. TV hookups down below. And over here, this is really the signature calling card of this model, is the full-size outside kitchen with the bigger full-size fridge. So interior plus exterior refrigerators gives this thing nearly 12 cubic foot of cold storage. That is pretty impressive. That's like a big fifth wheel size total cold storage. Those outlets in there are a perfect little place to be able to run, a little blender, toaster, griddle, something like that. And since they had the room, they give it the full swing out, cooktop here. But notice that all of this has that nicer galvanized rolled steel material on it. So it is, a lot more rugged, more weather resistant. As we back up, we're passing a couple things like the side mount solar prep and the all LED lighting. Not just tail lights, not just interiors, but markers and clearance lights as well. You might notice how this thing has a maximum size patio awning on it with LED lighting below. And note too how that outside awning does clear the outside kitchen. So they're not depending on that overhead outside kitchen door being part of your patio coverage, as it were. The bed ends on these are, a trendsetter. I think nearly everyone else who builds hybrid campers today has adopted Rockwood's easy latch system here. You might notice that the latches for these, they're located down here where they're much, much easier to reach. They're not located all the way up here where even a tall guy like me has to get on my toes just to unlock the bed end. You don't have to deal with any of that. Also, it doesn't require a special key. It utilizes one of the other keys that's already equipped on the camper. Simple and easy. Power tongue jack and, geez, I can't even speak. I need a break. Power tongue jack and protective slide awnings are an additional pair of options that you see applied in this video here. Not necessarily going to be found on every single roo that we have here at Haylett RV. Again, this is just here to give you an idea of what these things can look like. On our slide sides, we do have breeze-through tinted windows, and on all of the exterior sides, we have frameless tinted windows. So why two window systems? Well, you don't want to put frameless windows on the side of a slide out because if it's tilted open, the way that these windows work, and then you close the slide, well, you're going to smash the thing to bejesus and back, and obviously that's not going to work too well. These things protect the window seals basically from the sun under UV tinted paint, and there's no frame that could potentially sun fade, whereas theoretically on an untreated lesser expensive framed window that could be the case. The other thing is Rockwood really likes the snazzy look of these things. Theoretically these things can get less airflow, but that's part of the reason Rockwood puts the bigger max air vent fans in their roos to overcome that potential shortcoming. Now we're looking at a model that is equipped with a booth dinette, which is the reason that this door and magnet holdback are right here. That is actually storage access to under one side of the dinette bench. You might have noticed how one side had a door and one had like a drawer. Well, the one with the door, you can get to it from the back side. So you can actually pass heavy stuff through. All of our hookups are all located back here in that rear corner. You see the outside shower over here on this side along with the black tank flush. And then below the rear hybrid bed would be like your water and electric hookups. There is a little bit of storage under the front and rear hybrid bed ends, like the little bench area as it were, and that's what this door would be for right here. You might also notice how that spare tire cover is more of a hard shell cover, far more weather resistant, because the last thing you want to have happen is in the event that you do need to utilize a spare tire, you don't want it to be chewed up from the weather, you want it to actually be viable. Now from down here, if you peek up top, you might just see the max air vent cover sticking up over the bathroom. Remember, there's one of those on anywhere that you see a power fan in the Rockwood. So in the case of a roo, they are standard in both the living room and the bathroom. Backup camera prepped, and another thing you see sticking up off the top is two little antennas. That is the location of the Wi-Fi ranger that we discussed inside. So we talked about the big patio awning. I want to talk about the wider entry door here with that extra large folding handle for easy come and go. This is also anti-slam. Fling that thing open and it doesn't go anywhere. And if you notice, it it actually caught itself before it reached the holdback right here. And it doesn't require one of those little cheap plastic holdbacks that the sun will eat and then it'll break after a while. Additionally, Rockwood is not just using the MORryde stable step. They're using the gas-strutted 0G stable step system that, look at this, it's actually so strong it's self-recoiling right now. It's pretty impressive. You know, that's the kind of things that go into the Rockwoods. Kind of like their suspension. This is, you could very easily argue, a best-in-class system right here. To give you an idea, guys, you've probably heard of a brand called Airstream, where a little 16-footer costs about 45 grand. Well, Rockwood doesn't use Airstream suspension. It's the opposite. Airstream uses Rockwood's suspension. It is a 4-wheel independent torsion axle and torsion suspension system. It's not a leaf spring. And what's really cool about it is the way that it transfers weight and stress. It helps this thing corner like it's on rails, because instead of the body trying to roll and pull you off the road, this will actually try to force itself back flat, so that when you are going around those curly-Q highway exits, you're not getting sucked off the road by your trailer. Pretty darn nice. And there's yet so much more to learn about these. This is a brief once-over, frankly, and you could spend hours learning about every nut, bolt, and widget on one of these things. You know, like I don't know if I even mentioned, this does have an enclosed belly. That's just a standard thing on the Rockwood roofs. There's a ton of stuff that goes into these guys. If you'd like to learn more, if you like what you see, if you have a few questions, contact our team here at Haylett RV. Provided you're willing to offer your business to our dealership, we will bend over backwards to take care of you, just like we already have putting these videos together. So take care, stay safe, have fun, happy camping, everyone, and remember that Haylett RV doesn't do hidden dealer fees, but we do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, and everything else in between.